This is my seventh grade concession stand project. It's basically a culminating task to review the unit, review for the unit test that we'll be having on unit rates, calculating discount taxes, operation with decimal fractions percentages, and basically understanding profits and losses. Okay, here's the situation and standards. I basically wanted to come up with a task where the students can apply what they learned to like a real world scenario. So I actually came up with a real world scenario. I'm a seventh grade teacher, so we are actually going to give our students a field trip at the end of the year. So here's the situation. Seventh grade teachers want to plan at the end of the year field trip to Six Flags to reward their students and are well short of funds. So the teachers need to earn money and have decided to sell food and drinks at the concession stands during the school's 3 different dances for each grade level. The teachers need to know what food and drinks the students will buy and which food and drinks will make them the most money. This is where the students will come in. Students will research, choose the best food with the best profits. They will present their findings to the seventh grade team. So I also have the standards right here listed, basically among computing rates, operations with fractions, decimals, and rational numbers, finding tax discounts. They actually have to come up with some equations, do multi-step problems, and they actually have to do quite a survey. First, I begin by putting the students in the groups of 5. So I actually had 3 groups of 5. And before we did anything, I made all of them sign a group contract, each group, and basically stating their name and what they agree to follow do. So that way, if I have any issues, I always can refer to the contract. So you broke the contract, and I can give grade accordingly. So it's just a tool that holds them accountable. An idea I got from one of my coworkers, which I thought was fairly neat. This is my first time using it. The first thing I did was have my students create a survey through Google Forms. So each group created a survey through Google Forms to find out what the student body likes. And so what they did, they sent it out because we're a one-to-one device school. They created the Google form on their laptops, and they were able to send it out to the school email because they all have the Microsoft email. So I thought that was fairly neat. And so we got, this is a little snippet of what one of the surveys looked like. As you see, favorite candy, they went through candy, blow pops, such, favorite chips, hot Cheetos, Takis. So I thought that was kind of neat. Next, I brought in some ads that I had from my old sales paper ads for them to look at the foods, and I allowed them to look online, basically get an understanding of the price of the candy, the chips, the drinks that they want to sell, and try to come up with a profit margin. One thing that I had planned on doing was them keeping a journal as their goal, and I tried to think of the most feasible way to do it, and I came up with a Padlet, using the Padlet that allowed them to answer certain questions, as you see right here, throughout each day, like a couple of questions that they would just put on the Padlet. Unfortunately, they didn't really use that right because we spent so much time trying to get all the other stuff done, and that's one thing I did not do correctly. I think I probably should have came up a better way, maybe a blog, an actual website on a wiki page. But that's one thing I know I didn't do right, and that pretty much was me on the timing of the task. Once they decided on their product and did their own calculations, they they had to do a presentation through Google Slide. So and that's another thing. They really didn't have the practice with Google Slide as they did with the PowerPoint, and I did not suggest them dropping their PowerPoint into the Google Slide because I wanted them to familiarize themselves to Google Slide, but I probably should have did that. They did attempt to do it. They had some good ones, but I know I could have got a better presentation through PowerPoint, and it's just simply because they didn't know. And I also had a rubric to go with that. After the presentation, each group were to create a quiz and I actually allowed them to use to watch the quiz screencast I created for this class. And based off that, they created a 5-question quiz on finding the unit rate, calculating discount, calculating taxes, and then creating an equation. But all of them had to be word problems. And so just pretty much XLIP, as again, this was in preparation for a test that we are going to have coming up next week, actually. So the whole thing was they had to finish this in 1 week, the week before Thanksgiving. So my only regret was the timing. I think I should allow a little bit more time. So, and that pretty much is on me. But I thought it was a great idea. I thought it worked out good.